The following preview has been approved for appropriate audience. Motion pictures created by Bytes Crafter. Watching videos is advised. Visit our website for more videos. www.bytescrafter.weebly.com.
Welcome guys! This is the second video of our pharmacy review essential. So our topic for today is chapter 1, pharmacy history from the beginning to the future. So next slide. So in this, I will start the PowerPoint presentation by having the eras. So we have the ancient era, beginning of time to 1600 AD. Then the next one is empiric era, 1600 to 1940. So this is when the time of Julius Caesar, aristocrat and other. So the third one is industrialization era. This is when the human civilization began to develop. Patient care era in 1972 to present. This is when medicine or pharmaceutical industry has been developing in a tremendous amount. So biotechnology and genetic engineering. So next slide. Ancient era, from the beginning of the future to 1600 AD. Sorry for that. Early man used materials in his surroundings. Leaves, muds, and cool water were used to stop bleeding and heal wounds. Dry clay was used to splint broken bones. They copied animal behavior. So even in the earliest age, man has conquered the knowledge of preparing their own medicine. So if you don't know this, even animals do know how to cure themselves by eating leaves or grass. For example, I know that dog eat grass to alleviate the stomach pain when they have eaten something dangerous or acidic. So next slide. So documentation. At some point, man began to document healing practices on clay tablets in 2600 BC. So if you are a pharmacy, you may know some of the men, known men, very popular men like Juscarides and other more. So we'll beginning to discuss that in the later of the video. So one of the earliest known records written around 1500 BC was the Ebers Papyrus. So named by George Ebers. So we in as a pharmacy student, we know is as Papyrus Ebers, right? It is named by George Ebers. So, Ebers Papyrus contain formulas more than 800 ancient remedies. So, take note, this is in the earliest stage of man. So, I think this is when the time of Egyptian civilization. So, belly. For the evacuation of the belly, cow's milk 1 grain. For example, these Papyrus Ebers, it does not only contain the ingredient, but but also it contain the where it is used. Yes, the ingredient, how it is prepared. So some of this is like this. Belly, for evacuation of the belly, cow's milk 1, and grain 1, honey 1, mash, sift, cook, taken 4 portion. So in bowels, in terms of this is, for example, this is the therapeutic category. In Papyrus Ebers, they arrange the manner in this. They arrange it in this manner. So bowels, to remedy the bowels malleolate. Some of These are the some of the content of the Papyrus Ebers or Ebers Papyrus. So that up an onion and pot of beer was considered as delightful remedy against death. Wow. Clothing. Clothing may be used to protect from mice, rat, flying cats, even clothing protective or in but today it is called, I think it is called what do you call this? Prophylactin. So Greeks around 1600 BC, the Greek integrated science into mythological thinking. They began thinking logically about disease rather than believing spiritual explanation. The Romans conquered the Greek and medical pharmaceutical culture merged. It is known as Greco-Roman. So this is because since humanity earliest past, pharmacy has been part of everyday life. Its development parallels that of man. Cavemen learned from instinct, from observation of animals, water, plants, dirt was their first shooting application. So, next slide. Greek figure. So, Hippocrates. So, the father of medicine was a philosopher, physician, and a pharmacist. So, a philosopher na, physician pa, pharmacist pa, ikaw na. He liberated medicine from the mythical bad spirit. So, y- uh, I think that's the problem in the earliest stage of pharmaceutical activities, because in the first stage, man has been divided into transcendence part of human and philosophical part of human. So transcendence, they believe that there is a higher form of uh, life. For example, bad spirit. So some of it, they are called. I think they are called witches or something like that. They cure by uh, using the power of the transcendence life form. So he also wrote the Oath of Hippocrates. So early copy of Hippocratic Oath. So I think it was engraved in a stone, as you can see. And then next is Theophrastus, known as the father of botany. So of course, he studied the adverse effect of plants. So he focused more on plant sources. Paracelsus. So I think that's not Paracelsus. That's not human. So Paracelsus, Theophrastus, Philippus, Aurelius, Bombastus, Hanhelheim. Wow, what a nice name. Swi- a Swiss born physician who believed in chemical treatment of disease rather than botanical. So he, in contrary to Theophrastus, he this Paracelsus is uh, in opposite. So he believed that we must focus more on the chemical content, not on the plant. So Roman pharmacy titles, Pharmacopoeia, maker of remedies. So Pharmacopoeia, we have the, I think we have the, here in the Philippines, I think we have the Philippine Pharmacopoeia, but uh, the most some of it are London Pharmacopoeia, and other I forgot to. So Angetari, makers of ointment, Pigmentary, makers of cosmetic, Pharmacopoeia. Sorry guys, but the next three titles are never been discussed in here in the Philippines. I don't know, but I don't know the three titles. So seller of drugs, when you say Pharmacopoeia, so aromatary, dealers of spices. So pharmacies of today had not yet evolved. Oh. So Arabian influence, major advances in this era, formularies, the continuation of documentation of drug information. They also had the different drug forms which are now used, syrups, conserves, confections, and juleps. So, if any one of you don't know what is confections, this is some of the pharmaceutical raw materials that is used to mask the odor of the drug. So, in other words, they are also called as confectionery. So the first pharmacy shop in the world was in Baghdad about 792 Ada Domino. So it was very early to have that is the recorded first pharmacy shop, 792 Ada Domino. So the Renaissance period. So it was 1350 to 1650 Ada Domino, end of the ancient era. Pharmacy became separated from medicine. So, uh, as we know, uh, uh, medicine is focusing on uh, the direct contact to the patient. So you are making uh, you are in touch with the patient, while pharmacy is focused on discovering new medicine drugs for 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 the diagnosis or treatment or cure of disease. So pharmacy regulation began. So it is this is the period when pharmacy regulation began, because some of it are very unethical, that is used to, even I think this in this period, this is the time when pharmacy or pharmaceutical activity or making of poison has been, this is a very unethical. That's why pharmacy regulation began. University education pharmacist was now required. So it was required in this period. More and new drugs were imported from the Orient. So importation of raw material to create drugs had been started. So new chemicals were introduced. So Renaissance, in other words, this is also called an ancient era. Guilds reformed for profession of pharmacy. Physicians did not take pharmacists seriously. In a small amount of towns, they were put in the same guild as a spicer. So in this period, pharmacists had been, I think they had been, uh, next. Renaissance summary. So pharmacy became separated from physician. That is, from this, just always remember, in Renaissance period, pharmacy and physician has profession has been separated. So achieve profession status. So pharmacists, even they are pharmacists had been separated to physician, pharmacist is now a professional degree. So extensive pharmaceutical literature was created, university education requirements. So this is now a course or an education or academics. New chemicals were introduced. Important people of the ancient era, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, wrote the Oath of Hippocrates. I don't know what that is, but Hippocratic Oath physician is still take today. I think this is just only for the physician. Yet Hippocrates is very important in the history of pharmacy. Uh, Theophrastus, Theophrastus, father of botany. Of course, Theophrastus is very important to pharmacists, as we know that almost, I think, 70% of all the drugs available today is came from the natural source, which is on plants. And I think almost approximately 20% came from the animals. So many types of plant as medication. Paracelsus believed in chemical made medication and discounted herbal and botanical made medication. So Paracelsus is more of modern Theophrastus. Uh, he now revealed that uh, it's not the plant that cure or treat disease. It's the active ingredient within the plant. So he was on the chemical level of discovery. So the next one is empiric era, 1600 to 1940. So pharmacopoeias were used to protect public health. So pharmacopoeias began. Pharmacopoeia is something, a book composed of medicine, the ingredient, how it is prepared, the therapeutic category, the some of the caution, precaution, some of the standard information all about drugs. So next one is root, barks, herbs, flowers, etc. were used and controlled by the government. So of course, some of the roots, barks, herbs, flowers have been controlled for the government because of drug abuse. One very good example of this is marijuana. Marijuana, it was abused by human being because of a nice effect to them. Yet, as we all know that anything that is excessive use will become a bad effect to human. But marijuana, or in the scientific, we have a scientific name, what I don't want to cut, but yet I forgot. But if you know that currently I am overwhelmed, my brain is overwhelmed. That's why I forgot the scientific term of I just remember, I think it's cannabis sativa. Cannabis sativa is the scientific name of marijuana. They question the toxicological effect on human body, created interest in testing of drugs and how they are affected the body. So empiric era continue. In 1751, Benjamin Franklin started the first hospital in the whole world, in the history. So in Pennsylvania, PA, I don't know the PA, but it was moved but it still stands today. Wow. The first hospital of the world. So empiric era continue. The first hospital pharmacist to work in a hospital was Jonathan Roberts. So I think this will be in the board exam, pharmacy board exam. So the first hospital pharmacy. So as we all know that pharmacy has, I think no exactly four field. So we can be a community pharmacist. We can be a hospital pharmacist like Jonathan Roberts. The third one is we can be a manufacturing pharmacist. So next one, William Proctor, the father of American pharmacy. So he's the father of American pharmacy. He spent most of his life to the advancement of pharmacy. He owned an apothecary shop. In any of you doesn't know what is apothecary, other word is, it is just another word of pharmacy. So teacher, editor, and scientist. So new drugs and chemicals. So science grew in 17th and 18th century. Many new drugs and chemicals were identified. Nitrogen, fluorine, zinc, oxygen, atropine, quinine, caffeine, morphine, codeine, penicillin, testosterone, pentobarbital, niacin. And I think this is thanks to Dioscorides. Dioscoride. I think that is because of Dioscorides. So next, industrialization era, those Civil War and World War One. Now, this boost up the development of pharmaceutical industry because of war, Civil War, World War One, World War Two. Medicine has been a great uh, source of curing and treatment of a wounded soldier. So the government must focus on not not only in the war but also in the pharmaceutical industry. So more people needed drugs for injuries and illnesses from the war, so mass production of medication were made through industrial machines. So this is what I'm saying is because of war, pharmaceutical industry has been increased tremendously. So industrial era, scientific research was also growing in the industrial era. Investigation into the medicine and their effect were studied. Due to all the research, many new drugs and uses of old drugs were being used, which caused more reaction and interaction with the medication. So which why patient care era is called that. One good example of this, and nowadays, penicillin has been, I think, eliminated from drugs because penicillin, I think, bacterias now had been have much higher resistance on bacteria because of improper use and improper dosage of the medicine or drug. So patient care era, so this is when MON has focus or on patient care, so not only in drugs. So new problem, complication like allergic reaction, multiple drug interaction with other drugs and food, increase the therapeutic duties of patient care in the pharmacies and hospital. So biotechnology era, now to the future, DNA genetic technology. This is the time when disease in the smallest, well, sorry for that. Biotechnology era. So gene therapy is being conducted. Some diseases are linked to the genetic defect. Modifying the genetic makeup of people may prevent or cure disease. So this is something like um, the more high-tech version of pharmacy. So, but I think I will cut this for now because this is not, I think, focus today. Yet, recombinant DNA, yes, it was discussed in the academics here. And hope you like the video and hope to subscribe to my channel and please check my videos. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, click subscribe. More to come. Click here to play this video.